Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist, episode 364. It is, oh, someone's tired. It is July 21st, 2019. Yes. What's interesting? Do not lick my face. We're working on no face kisses. But she just woke up from a nap, and she's gonna lick my ear anyway. And I am a hot mess, or my neck. That's really disgusting. Stop licking my neck. I am a hot mess today because it's just me home with the kids this weekend. I didn't record last weekend because of, life. Trademark, life with a capital L. This one, hopefully, will stay sitting in my lap. Hi. Or she'll do the parrot thing and you'll get to see her butt. Hi. Yeah. There's a lily. There's a lily bear. Okay. Hot mess, like I said. Oh, Lord. Oh, where are you going? What are you doing? Come here. Come here, because that is not good. You just sit. So, catching up on aforementioned life. I can't remember if I talked about this last time. Probably not. So, our water heater that is original to the house. The house is about 17 years old at this point. Decided to give up the ghost. It stopped, it was like a Sunday night, it stopped heating water. Pilot light went out, we couldn't get the pilot light relit, so no matter what we did. So hubby and I were down here frantically trying not to blow the house up, because, hello, gas water heater. At 7 at night as I'm trying to bathe the kids using water boiled on the stove. This is today. I need it. In case you can't tell by looking at me. Stop licking me. Why am I so tasty to you all of a sudden? No answer. Typical. So we got luckily our plumber that we use that's local, only lives a street over from us, was able to come out the next morning. Got it limping along, but then pointed out about 4 places where it was leaking. And said he was kind of amazed. Now, this man had been out and told to replace a faucet 3 years ago and looked at it and told me then to keep an eye on it because it was original to the house. So I'm very glad we had it as long as we did. And we now have a lovely, wonderful tankless water heater that's over there in our utility closet. Takes up like no footprint at all in there because it's mounted on the wall. It's awesome. Love it. Love it, love it. But yeah, dealing with that and trying to coordinate who was going to be home on the days they came and for how many hours and what was... God, I give up. And then just the kids, summer schedule, work, everything. But I have been knitting. Now, I don't remember where I was 3 weeks ago because normally I record on the weekends that hubby is here so he can corral the kids if necessary, but last weekend I just couldn't bring myself to record for whatever reason, so here I am. We're playing Beat the Clock. I'm a hot mess, so let's go. First things first, what I have on my needles. I'm gonna get my project page. New tab, yep, pulled up, because I didn't have that ready, and that's okay. What's on my needles? No, you may not try to eat my project bag. This one, I have learned the little one has developed a taste for yak and silk, which is wonderful. You'll hear about that later. Do I have my... Why don't I have... Because they're right here. I was going to say, why don't I have my... Because they still have my Sarah's socks on them. These are not my full-size sock blockers, but these are my Dark Side of the Moon socks. They're not done yet. I have one done. So I did these as a true afterthought heel. These are going to look all wonky because these sock blockers are not long enough. But that's okay. Get it pulled up so I can give you all the logistics. These are out of Mustache Yarns. Her perfect sock, the OCD matching skeins. In the colorway is Dark Side number 4. So this is the 4th iteration of her Dark Side of the Moon colorway. It's an 80-20 superwash merino and nylon blend, fingering weight yarn. So you get 2 matching skeins. So each skein is 220 yards. and they come out. One sock is done. I've been knitting these up on a US 1, a 2.25 millimeter needle. Did 20 rows of ribbing, 1 by 1 rib. And then I knitted and I knitted and I knit all the way down. I whacked a toe on and then I went back because when I was ready to insert for the heel, I didn't have any waist yarn with me, which is bad. But I did a true afterthought heel. All the ends are woven in on this one. The heel looks wonkety because aforementioned wrong size sock blocker. But it came out so good. And this little ping pong ball size ball of yarn is all that I have left. There's my head for reference. There you go. Eyeball sized. I'm in healthcare. It's about the size of a human eyeball, maybe. But second sock. So I've been trying to do this at the park the last 2 days in between chasing after the kids and not letting them, you know, like jump off of a 20-foot rope structure that the Parks and Rec department thinks is a wonderful idea for small children to climb on. I don't know why the last 2 parks that our town has put in have these giant climbing structures made out that's like ropes, and they have little like rubbery platforms every so often, but they go 20 feet in the air. And it's like fake astroturf covering the ground. I don't know what's underneath, but there is not that much give to it to stop a child from, you know, like breaking something if they decide to jump off. And Gabe suddenly developed this need to jump off structures that are more than 5 feet high. Yeah. More mommy fuel. So this second sock, I finished the knitting of the tube. I put the toe on. I have Kitchenered the toe. I did not get a chance to weave it in because I had already put the double points in for the heel. Smart person that I am. And then today at the park, I got the double points put in yesterday. Today at the park, I snipped and picked out the yarn on that middle row and opened up for the heel. So I'll be able to do the heel soon. Let's see, that one is the toe yarn. Let's stuff that back down in. So all these ones that have the little frayed ends, those are the ones that I picked out, and I'll knit the toe, which is a Crystal Afterthought heel. I believe it's available with a pattern free on Knitty. You can Google it on, it's on Ravelry as well still, to my knowledge. And it's wonderful if you have a high instep like I do, where just whacking another, basically doing another toe on the heel is not enough for me because my instep is so high. This gives a little bit of extra room there. So if that's a problem for you, if it's too tight across your instep, the crystal heel is a great thing to do. But I have my signature double points in. I am ready to go. I just have to put the heel in and that pair of socks will be done. I tried opening the heel up yesterday and I'm glad that I didn't, because I'd actually somewhere partway across picking up stitches, I had skipped a row up or a row down. Somehow I was off a row, so I had 2 rows in between the needles, not just one, but I fixed it at the park today, in between stopping my son from, you know, trying to break something, including himself. I've been working on these since May 18th, and I really want to get them done. But yeah, had another scary experience at the park this morning when a couple of the other parents that were there watching their kids was asking me why I was working. I said, oh, it's the second sock of a pair. Here's the first one. I took this, threw it across to the table. The dad was sitting there. He's like, oh, he's like, you did this together. I'm like, what do you mean together? Yeah, I just closed it up. He's like, no, you did it together. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh no, it comes apart. Never mind. I thought you had actually knitted it together. And I was like, don't tell me that, because then I'd have to pick everything out. No, I didn't. Everything is fine. It's all good. One sock done. Second sock just has the heel remaining, and those will be finished. And please God, let me finish those by the time that next time I record, because I need something else in my life right now. Other thing in my life. So I feel like I should have finished both these projects because, hello, it's been 2 months. I shouldn't take 2 months to knit a pair of plain socks and a boxy. I feel like I zoomed through the boxy. I started that May 26th. That's the second thing on my needles. It's in this giant Fat Squirrel bag from the Fat Squirrel. Yes, I'm setting it on you, Squirt. You can deal. You're fine. So this is out of Cascade Yarns Alpaca, their Lana de Oro, which is a, hang on, it is a worsted weight, 50% alpaca, 50% wool. Hi. She is woken up because I set a bag on her. I'm so sorry. Hey. You gonna blap at everybody? No? No, don't make me. She's still kind of out of it. She was napping and then heard me come downstairs and wanted to come down too. But I have to put you down so I can show them this. Can I do that? Here's the other thing. She loves this. I don't know. She has a thing for camelids or something because... Okay, we'll set the bag over there. You lay down. You lay down. Come on. Relax. Relax. Nope. Not dealing with it. So, I don't even remember where I was last week. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I put a progress marker. Smart me. Yay. I was there. So, I was ready to do all the shaping. Figure out which way's the front and which way's... That's the front. Okay. So, I have completed the whole thing. I have done one sleeve, which I kind of had to wing because I needed to pick up more stitches than what was called for. But it still fits. It still works. It'll be fine. Now, I'm at the point where I have to pick up stitches for the second sleeve, and I don't want to. It's like, I just want to sit down and knit. I don't want to have to think and count and do this, and it's just, So I've got this lovely, almost finished boxy, which is like a worsted weight blanket sweater to wear. And it hit 102 degrees last Friday here. That was fun doing home care visits that day. Yeah, we made it through. But I'm one sleeve shy of finishing the boxy, and I would have had it done last weekend, and I haven't touched it this week except for my whole I don't wanna attitude that I'm having. So like I said, I'm working on that out of the Cascade Yarns Lana de Oro. The color was kind of a taupe before I had a friend over dye it with some blue and green dye. Years and years and years ago. It was going to be an Aztec Mazes sweater, which is by Ann Hansen, and I started that, and that just took too much brain space at the time, so I ripped out, and it just was, it's just been languishing in my stash ever since. Obviously, I need more coffee. So I'm knitting up on a US 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter, as well as a US 7, which is a 5.0 millimeter, I think, if I remember right. Why won't you relax? Squirt. There you go. Good girl. So, that's everything that I've been working on. I've still got the yarn for the Joker and the Thief shawl for Sarah for Christmas sitting over here. This is going to be my next project. When I finish one and or both of those things, I'm kind of forcing myself. The other thing we have going on, moving over to what's on the wheel, is Tour de Fleece, which I believe wraps up next weekend, if I remember right. So we have one more week. And I've kind of haphazardly been spinning. There's been some days where I've spun for a couple hours. There's been other days, like the last several, that I haven't touched my wheel. But I did manage, and now I can't remember where this is from because I didn't bring the bag down that has the fiber in it. I think it's Green Mountain Spinnery. This is awful. Oh my gosh. I'm a terrible, terrible podcast host. I'm so sorry. I have their... Hang on. I am in their group. I just have to find which group. It's not that one. Well, let's go to my groups. Oh, that's not what I want at all. Okay. There we go. Groups. All right. Let's see. I want to say it's... This is terrible. I'm so sorry, you guys, that you're having to put up with me scrolling through. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, for the love of Pete. It's not them. It's not them. No. Oh, good golly. No, 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 no. I don't remember. We're going to wing it. I think it's Green Mountain Spinnery. So I got this Yak 50/50 Yak Silk Blend. Oh gosh, two years ago for the Interweave Yarn Fest. I went there with my friend Lynn Zim over on Ravelry. And the colorway is called Paper Roses, and it starts with this kind of murky green and goes through and changes over and finishes with this beautiful kind of a burgundy and then a silvery rose color, which is that last. So there's the darker, and then finished with this. So I have finished, I'm basically taking these 5 little braids that were in the pack. I'm dividing them in half. I'm going to do a 2-ply out of it. It's probably going to be a lace weight, heavy lace weight, light fingering weight yarn when I ply it. The first half is done. Now granted, I started it last summer, like 2018 summer, but I've started the second half. I am not far at all because, as I previously mentioned, I haven't touched my spinning wheel in the last several days. But the first half is done, which I think when I started, I was only on the second color, and this stuff is spinning up like frog hair. I mean, it's far from perfect. It's meant to be. It's a hand spun. See it? It's itty bitty. So it's coming out fine, very fine. I made sure to leave a little tuft on my end so I can find my end on this, because that would be a nightmare. Spend all this time and then that. The other thing that I have to tell you, I think I mentioned the last time I recorded that I'd been contacted by, oh my gosh, terrible podcaster, terrible, that's me. Oh noes. Oh, and of course I deleted the emails, because of course I did. Why wouldn't I? Because it's already been taken care of. Okay, so I've deleted the emails, but for the wool mill that's up in Estes Park that I'm drawing a blank on, that took my 2 fleeces up at Estes. Go back to the last podcast, and I know I said their name there. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible, horrible person that can't remember stuff, and I shouldn't be allowed to podcast. So I gave them 2 fleeces, and they had contacted me and told me, yay, they're ready. Do you want them shipped? And I had said yes. So I hadn't heard anything from them, and it was almost 2 weeks. Like, I'd paid for everything the next day. And I hadn't heard from them in almost 2 weeks, and I was like, this is weird. Please don't tell me they got lost in the mail system somewhere between Estes Park and here, which is like a 35-minute drive. I mean, come on. I shouldn't have been lazy. I should have just driven up there. So I finally shot an email off to them, to Daniel. And this is just a little family-run wool mill up in Estes Park that's on their little homestead, and it's so, number one, it's hard to find. Number 2, it's hard to get into because, hello, up a mountain. I managed it with my little car somehow. But I went there, and I'm sorry, there's going to be rustling and crinkling. So if you'll remember, I had 2 fleeces. These are my locks that I pulled before. I had this black CVM Rommeldale, which is from Winddance Ranch out of Granite Canyon, Wyoming. Granite Canyon, Wyoming. Don't even know if they're still selling because I got this ages ago. So this, and the sheep's name was Opal. It's a black CVM. So lovely, wonderful. Well, look at the crimp. So pretty. And then the second one I got didn't have a name, but was a 2.5 pound white Corriedale U fleece. And this was the washed lock that they attached to the little card. Which, thank God, because the rest of the fleece from sitting in my, well, from the color of it, had been, well, you can see on the card. See that yellow? That yellowy orange, ugly? That's the color the fleece was before it was washed. Now, after the mill got, they have their labels in the bags. Willow Creek Fiber Mill. There we go. So they attached little cards at the end of the roving. I have 3 bags. 3 bags full. Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full of the CVM Rommeldale Black and of Miss Opal in this lovely, luscious, gorgeous roving. Look at that. You can even see through it. They did such a good job. And it's clean and it's, oh, it's pretty. It's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty, so pretty, so pretty. And then I have 1 bag because, hello, a 5 1/4 pound fleece and a 2 1/2 pound fleece. Obviously, you're not going to get as much as well as Corey Dale. You're going to have a lot more loss. The white, and Lily's freaking out because there's a rattly bag over her head. Look at it. Look. Looks so pretty. There's still some veg matter in it, and that's okay. It's not terrible. It's all stuff, just little bitty stuff that'll fall out, which I had not even taken these fleeces out of the bags. Like, I had tied them shut. They were sitting in my closet in the craft room for years, and I took them and they were able to make this glorious, glorious roving that is ready to be spun, and I'm so excited to work on it. This is totally going to be a sweater spin. I don't know for what, although, let me find it. I am leaning toward, not what I want to do, a pattern called Dark Water. Let me find it, because I can't remember the designer's name either. Again, that's not what I want. That's not it. Dark something. Oh, don't tell me that got pulled. No. Hang on, maybe Dark Water, was that what it's called? I have it in my library. Pretty sure I bought it, so it should be in there. Yeah. Oh, Dark Water. I was searching for searching for 2 words, not 1 word. So this is by Jennifer Steingass, who is Knit Love Wool, knit period love period wool period. Or no, that's what it's published on. Oh, God. I should just quit today. I shouldn't have even recorded because. So I'm going to flip this around and show you guys what this looks like, because this is so pretty. So obviously a yoked sweater. I need to spin a fingering weight yarn, because that's what it's knit in. And I think that is totally, totally doable. Oh, now you're going to fall asleep? Now you're getting all warm and snuggly? Out of those 2. So that's like my dream sweater right now. Yeah, I'm excited. A little bit. I think it'll look gorgeous with the CVM as the background and then the white Cordale popping out the color works. Yay. So excited. So that's what I have on my needles on the wheel. Various and sundry, obviously I talked about getting the the water heater. That was an adventure. The old one limped along for about a week and a half before they had an opening to come out and install the new one. That was a chunk of change, let me tell you. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. It wasn't pretty. Somewhere between ouch and boing on how bad it was. And how wow the cost was, somewhere between ouch and boing. And if you get that reference, I love you and we must be friends. So let's see, where are we? Get back to, oh yes. Let's see if we've got a question and any questions, and then we'll wrap this up. Oh, there's a little mouse out in the window well. Sorry, I just saw something moving. Wildlife in my window wells. Well, at least it's not the toads anymore. So King's Singer Girl posted a question. And actually a couple of questions. She said, hi Karen, a couple of questions. Number one, when your hands start to hurt from too much knitting, what is your best solution to make the pain stop, i.e. stretches, lotions, etc.? And number two, how do you push yourself to do projects outside of your comfort zone? So number one, when my hands start to hurt too much, I'm doing them right now, kind of little stretches that I do. I'll just stop and rest them. Also, I've found that having projects that are on fairly different size needles is a big thing. So if all I've been working on is itty bitty little sock needles, like zeros, ones, twos, and my hands, wrists start to hurt, I'll switch to something bigger, like the boxy. That's why I try to keep a bigger project and socks on the needle so I can swap back and forth based on what feels good at the time. I don't really use any lotions to help with pain. Time. Listen to your body. If it hurts, stop it. Because you might, honestly, if you keep going and forcing yourself and trying to force your way through, work through the pain. You're probably actually hurting yourself more, and that's not something that you want to be doing because you want to be knitting the rest of your life. You don't want to get taken out by tendonitis or carpal tunnel or anything like that because the docs are going to tell you, what caused it? Oh, you knit a lot? Stop knitting. We all know that's not going to happen. We're not going to stop knitting just because a doctor tells us to. Come on. So listen to your body. Take frequent rest breaks. If you're knitting and it's hurting, try to crochet for a little bit. Try a different motion. Pick up some cross stitch. Do something different. Or browse Ravelry. Get it on your... go through your pattern books, look through your library and see, try to get inspired. I don't really use any lotions or gels or anything like that because a lot of times, and if you're hurting, obviously, yes, take some Motrin if it's causing you a lot of pain, but don't use that to help you push through because, hurt yourself more because you're just masking the pain. I'll use lotions more in the winter. And I usually put them on before bed so they have time to soak in so that if they're greasy or anything, it's not getting on my projects as well. And question 2, how do you push yourself to do projects outside of your comfort zone? I kind of have to be in the mood for it. Right now I realize I need mindless knitting. I need to just go round and round in circles for days. That's why we're doing a lot of the stockinette socks. That's why we're doing something giant like the boxy. I couldn't handle cables right now. It's not in my brain space. It's just part of why I haven't tried brioche. I don't have the time or the focus ability right now because it's something, to me at least, I'm sure people are going to go, oh, brioche is easy. I'm sure it is, but when you have small people who are constantly, mom, 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 I don't have the brain capacity for it right now. In the future, sure. It's just like I used to do a lot of lace shawls. I can't do that right now. Between the wee ones and the fuzzy wee ones and the Daisy that I just heard come down. Hi, Daisy Duke. Hi, Munchkin. You're okay. Hi. You're okay. Yeah, you're okay, Munchkin. Between the fur children and the real children, the human children, I don't have the brain space for it. Do I still want to do them? Yes, I have a stockpile of lace shawls. I still want to do the peacock feathers shawl, that ginormous thing. I've got some, I think it's tencel, silk and tencel in this peacock blue that's gorgeous that I've been saving for years, since before I started helping on the other podcast, the audio podcast that I was on. That's still in my stash waiting to be done, but my brain has not been ready for it. I do have some other ones that I want to do as well, and colorwork sweaters, and there's so much I want to do, but my brain's just not ready for it. That's all. So how do I push myself? I let it lie fallow. Farm girl, sorry. For those of you that don't know, every so often, it used to be every third or fourth year, the farmers would just have to let their fields lie fallow, which means they wouldn't plant them, to rotate the crop, to let the let the nutrients rebuild up in the soil. Corn, especially in Iowa, is really notorious for leaching all the nitrogen out of the soil, and eventually you're not getting as good of a crop. So I'm in the process of letting my brain lie fallow on quite a few things. Things that I want to try, more difficult sweaters and all that. I'm getting to the point where it's starting to wake up a little bit. But yeah, it's just doing a rotation. And sometimes I've tried things. I've tried toe-up socks in the past, and I tried them, and I went, nope. I've tried them multiple times, and it's just like, I've pushed myself. I don't like it. I actually despise doing that. So, not for me. Okay, moving on. There's other ways to make socks. So, if you're not ready to do something, it's outside your comfort zone, try it. Give it a go. If you're not ready for it, just let it sit. Let it marinate for a while. Let your brain relax. It might be a year. It might be 5 years. Who knows? And then when you're ready, come back to it. Give it another go. You never know. So hopefully that answered your questions. I don't have any upcoming events. Estes was kind of my big thing. I hope everyone that went to SSK had a wonderful time. It looked like a lot of fun from what I saw people posting on Instagram. I miss seeing everybody's faces, and hopefully someday I'll be able to get back there. So I'm going to wrap this up because we're over half an hour, and this is going to take forever to compress. And I'll either see you guys next week. No, not next week, because my in-laws are going to be here. So we have visitors from out of town next week, so probably in 3 weeks' time, or maybe I'll do it again in 2 weeks on the weekend. My hubby's working. I'll see you all whenever that is. And until then, Lily, say bye-bye. No, go this way. Say bye. No, until then, happy knitting.